What's up, you guys? Orlando here with the Leisure Record Studio. This is part two on a day two challenge from day two from Cymatics, and this is the mix of the beat that we did on previous video. If you missed the previous video, I'm gonna link here on top of the screen as well for you guys to go and watch that first because we did all the music production there. In today's video, I'm just gonna explain really quick all the mixing we did for this beat. And if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. You know the drill. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos from us. And let's jump to the video really quick right now. And I wanted to show you guys also my mixer here and what I'm doing there regarding effects and the mix. It's not that much. And I'm gonna go top down actually. So in the master, right now I only have two things. I have Studio 10. This is a little plugin that I always use on every mix. You can check airwindows.com and they have all free plugins that are pretty amazing. They don't look like much, but they do a pretty good job. This is a Dither plugin and it has like 3 settings. I just leave it there because it makes everything sound just a little bit better at the end of the chain. Actually, just wanted to let you know about that little thing there. And I have Ozone 8 Ozone 8 elements actually. That's doing a curve there. I use the Master Assistant. This one I did modify it because this curve was a little bit higher there, and also this one was lower down here, but I just want to be subtle. And that's doing equalizer and the maximizer, and just leaving, -1 dB just for the output there, and it's doing a little bit of limiting there actually. That's all for the master. On the sub master, I'm doing all the heavy lifting actually. I'm using GoFast, and I'm using also virtual mix rack with these little guys here. I'm using the virtual mix bus. I'm using the FGA, just doing a little bit of a boost there in 20 and a little bit of a boost there in 50. And I'm also using
blah 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 blah.
I'm using this one actually to give it a little bit more low end fatness and heavy hitting punch. Actually, it's a preset called Mix Bus Impact, and this one I just had to lower the output there because normally it comes like 3 dBs up there, so I just turned that down. And I'm also turning down a little bit there with the trimmer at the end because that one it's pulling the volume up a little bit. So that's all for that. Air EQ, I'm doing a little bit of a boost there in what was it, 80 hertz. I'm cleaning the low ends below 40. Just gonna do 40 here. Below 40, I'm just cutting all that excess low end there. And I'm softening actually a little bit more those frequencies there on the high end, and I'm just giving it a little bit more air just to compensate a little bit with that band. And after that, I'm just using compression, the FG Gray. I'm doing this in parallel mix, like 50% there, below 150. That's not doing any compression at all. And it's doing actually like 1 dB, 1.5 dB gain reduction, this one. Using after that the SSL, also doing 1 dB gain reduction there. I'm using the virtual tape machine. And that one is just a tiny little bit as well, just to give it that flavor, analog flavor. um After that, I'm using multipass. This one is a subtle lo-fi maker. This is just as an effect because that one is not fully activated all the way. It's just activated in the, I think, intro and outro, and you're gonna listen to that in a sec. After that, I'm using acceleration also from Air Windows or plugins, and this one is just high-end reducer. It's like taking out the harshness of the high-end sounds and making it sound pleasant. Besides that, I'm using on the synths, I'm using the Vibe strip. Actually have the Audify, the use 73B, doing some compression there. Just a little bit of EQ there. Also a little bit of saturation there, not much. Again, subtle stuff. Just reducing the volume a little bit. I'm using track spacer just to, with the kick, just to remove the kick frequencies from the synths. And what else? On drums, I'm using also virtual mix bus right there. I'm using Camel Crusher. This one is awesome. It's a really old plugin. It's free. You can download it. Go ahead and download it because it's pretty good. I'm just using tiny little bit here and tiny little bit here, and it sounds pretty good. Using multipass, also drum punch preset there. I just tweak a little bit also, but it makes it the drum sounds pretty awesome as well. Here on the synths, I'm actually using the CLA Mix Hub, and I'm just doing EQ and a little bit of compression on both actually, both tracks actually, EQ and compression for both of them. And for this one, the synth 70s, I'm using R bass as well. Track spacer just to remove one frequency from another, just to make space for one another, from those two synths. So I believe this one, it's no, this one is not activated actually. Which one it was this one. Okay, this is the one. So this one, I'm not really sure why it's not activated. I think this one should be the kick there. Yeah, just wanted the kick out of that synth there. You know what? No, I'm just gonna remove it because it was sounding good without that. So I'm just gonna remove that. And 808 track spacer also there with the kick, just to remove the 808 out of the kick, actually remove those frequencies out. I have R bass also for the 808. I have a multipass 808 fattener there, just a little bit of saturation for the 808 to make it sound better, especially on small speakers. On the hi-hat, I did a bunch of stuff to that hi-hat. Well, not much here, but just revival, just the high end. I use a transient shaper just to removing the attack there to the open hi-hat. I'm using Valhalla just to give it a little bit of effect, and I'm using a little bit of saturation as well here, this one, just a little bit. Also for the kick, I'm using a transient shaper to make it really punch really hard. Below 145 hertz, and also another one in 486 to 4K, and that's all for the mix. And the final result, I'm gonna play it for you right now. pretty simple, guys. So hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Please leave me a comment if you have any other questions. So again, as you can see here, that's only kick, snare, 3 hi-hats actually. That counts almost as only one instrument. Really, I'm just using basically 3 instrument sounds, 808 and couple synths. That's it, and you have a full sounding beat. If you really like this beat, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you want me to go ahead and give it away for free. I can do that for you guys, but only if you comment and let me know as well. I need to know if you're paying attention and if you're listening to this and if you really like this beat as well. And remember, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. You know the drill. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos from us. Don't stress, do your best, be blessed, forget the rest, and see you in the next tutorial.